Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel, the Messy Minimalist, and it is so good to see you all. I'm gonna jump right into this today. We are going to talk about goals. Now, I'm sure that by now you've already set your New Year's goals, or you might be one of those people who says like, I'm not gonna set goals. I'm not a goal setting person. That's not what I do in January, and that's fine. I personally love to set goals in January. And I mean, I like to set goals any time of the year. I am a person who is motivated by goals. I get a kick out of them. I feel like that's the kind of thing that once I've committed and put something to paper, it doesn't mean that it has to get done, but it means that I have focus and I have purpose in my life. If we don't have purpose, what are we doing? If you're struggling to find purpose for this next year, I would love to help you. You have all probably heard the phrase, living my best life. This year, I'm gonna live my best life. Go to the beach and live my best life. An avocado toast in the morning, living my best life. Ran 3 miles today, living my best life. Whatever it is. Haters gonna hate. I'm not a hater though. I definitely don't mean to hate on it. It's easy to see other people living their best lives and to be like, I wanna live my best life. How do I do that? And we can get down on ourselves. I'm gonna help you carve out a way to eventually get to your best life, but it's not what you think. In order to live your best life, you have got to do one thing, very important. You truly can't live your best life until you do this thing. You have to focus on yourself. You have to focus on you. It's not selfish to say, I'm gonna get myself right before I go on and do the things I want to do, before I go on and have an impact on anything, before I do well at my job, before you go and have whatever it is that is your best life. You have to focus on yourself. Let me give you 4 launching points so you can start setting goals that will help you be your best self. So then you can go eventually and live your best life. Launching point number 1 is mind. Now, when I say mind, these are goals for your mental health. This is not goals to expand your mind. It's goals to ease your mind. Goals to make yourself feel at ease, to feel positivity, to feel like everything is going to be okay with yourself. So, what are things that we can do to prioritize our mental health and to keep us stable, secure, and feeling good in that department? For me, it's kind of a no-brainer. I want to continue keeping my space clear and organized, decluttered, right? Why? Why do I want my space to be clean and pretty and neat and decluttered? Well, it's because when I walk into a space that's messy with stuff everywhere, I feel anxiety. I feel suffocated. I feel tightness in my chest. It doesn't feel good. I feel cranky. I wake up feeling more tired if I open my eyes to a messy space. So that's my why. It's because I don't like the mood that I'm in when I see my own and my family's own messes. That's why I want to have a cleaner space. Launching point number 2 is body. It's very easy for all of us to obsess over body image and how we feel about our body. We are surrounded by beautiful people on the internet, and it's very easy to get down on ourselves. And this kind of ticks right back over to mental health. If we're always looking over at what other people are doing and how other people are looking, how other people are living, we're not gonna feel right at home. We're not gonna feel right here. Rather than setting these big, huge goals for yourself, let's just work on having small goals. There are things that you can do that don't necessarily mean working out for 30 minutes every day. That sounds really hard. I know that I would do that for like a day and a half and then I would call it quits. That's not something I can commit to. So you're setting yourself up for failure if you set goals that are too lofty or that are too far outside of your regular schedule, that are too far outside something that you already do. Instead, try setting goals like dancing in your living room or your kitchen in your pajamas, you know what I mean? Just dancing, turning on music and deciding to dance. That feels really good. And most of the time after having a bust out dance session, I'm winded. That's a good little workout. If you wanna cut back on sugar and sweets, don't just say, I'm gonna cut back on sugar and sweets. You're gonna fail. Instead, say, what do I need to do to cut back on sugar and sweets? Why do I want to cut back on sugar and sweets? Because if we're setting a goal for ourselves, we need to know why. If you want to lose 10 pounds, why do you want to lose 10 pounds? Is it because you want to feel better about yourself? In which case, we also need to work on our mental health. Is it because you're actually tired all the time? That also might go into nutrition. So maybe instead of working out, you actually need to adjust your nutrition. When you answer why you want to set a goal, it's going to open up the door to how to achieve that goal. The next launching point is spirit. Spirit is my favorite one because spirit has to do with your happy place. Right now, me sitting down talking to you guys, this feeds my spirit. This makes me feel good. I mean, this makes me feel right. I feel right. For you, spirit could be something very different. Spirit could be painting or doodling, making music, calligraphy, filmmaking. It could be building things, gardening. Think of your hobbies. Your hobbies and what you identify as a hobby, that's probably something that feeds to your spirit. It makes you who you are. What do you need to feel the warm fuzzies? That is spirit. More than anything, this is an important one to really dig deep down to yourself because you don't want to be doing something that's somebody else's spirit thing. This is not about being somebody else. It's not about achieving somebody else's best life, right? This is about achieving your best self. So to be your best self, you need to actually ask yourself what makes you happy. Case in point, I took a class on Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is actually our sponsor for this video. It's an online community of classes that you can take to learn about web design, productivity, entrepreneurship, illustration, whatever it is that you're interested in, they probably have a class for. So anyway, I was taking a class because it was all about styling and styling your space. And something that I struggle with while I'm trying to, for instance, do my spirit hobby, I struggle with finding a place that I can shoot a video. Part of that is because my place is really messy and that gives me anxiety. Cue back to the mental health goal setting. But in general, I was trying to figure out how do I make my space feel better so I can shoot in it. And that brought me to a video that was all about interior styling, a class about finding what your true style is. And it was mind-blowing because I am trying to constantly live somebody else's best life. I'm trying to live somebody else's style as opposed to my own. I thought for sure I knew what my style was, but when I did the quiz, I did not get my style. I got the style that I think is actually completely contradictory to minimalism. This interior style that I got for myself via this quiz was boho, like bohemian, and 70s, which is silly because I think that in my mind, I'm like, no, I am mid-century Scandinavian, but that's just simply not true. For the most part, I got straight up bohemian. This is part of why I'm having trouble fulfilling this aspect of me. This is why I'm having trouble in the spirit department. I'm not in my happy place because I haven't arranged my space to feel good for me, to be my happy place. Part of my goal is to continue to learn more about what I actually like when it comes to space and styling, and to put that into my life more, to stop living somebody else's style. It's silly. Which, by the way, if you want to take that quiz, I am linking it down in my description. You can get 2 months for free of Skillshare with their premium membership, which means you get access to any of the courses there. And after that, it's just about 10 bucks a month. So it's definitely something that is worth trying. The last launching point that I have for you is heart. Now, heart is about the earth. It's about leaving the world in a better place than it started with when it comes to you and your physical impact on the world. So this is gonna be different for everybody. This is part of like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There are certain needs that must be met before you can focus on other things. You probably can't quite get to heart until you've fulfilled a few of these other categories, Rachel's hierarchy of goals, but heart is the one that probably comes last after you've really worked on yourself, you've worked on your mental health, your physical health, you've worked on your spiritual health, your happy place. Before we can go on to live this amazing life, we need to fulfill certain needs in ourselves. We're pretty insignificant in the world. The average person doesn't necessarily have a huge impact on the world, but to think that way on a regular basis means that we're not doing our part. If we feel like we don't matter in the world, it's like voting. Every single person who doesn't matter, eventually they do add up. I live in a town small enough where the votes came down to like 4 votes. That's crazy. That shows that every person counts. So when it comes to your heart, there are things that do matter. For me, things that I'm working on more are composting more. I live in the country. There's no reason that we can't have a thriving compost pile. Recycling. We recycle a lot of stuff, but I know that I don't recycle everything that I can. I've always said that you need to work on yourself first. If for your own mental health, you need to just get stuff out of your house, do it. I truly believe you need to do it. Focus on yourself first. But once you've achieved that, once you're feeling in a good mental state, then we can start saying, okay, can I make time to properly recycle this metal? Can I make time to pull apart the paper, separate out the plastic, clean out the jars when you're done with it so they can actually get recycled? A small contribution I'm making this year for me is changing up the cleaning products that I use. Are the cleaning products that you use in your house environmentally friendly? It's not trying to guilt anybody, it's just when you're ready. As I said, when you're down Rachel's hierarchy of goals, I'm feeling good about myself, my mental health, my physical health, my spiritual, happy place health. When you're feeling good about that, then you can ask yourself, do I want to pour that cleaning product waste down the sink? Do I want to put this bizarre artificial fragrance on my hands when I'm washing it? There are so many things that we use just in our everyday lives that are not good for the environment. So when you're ready to say, I can start thinking about the environment, that's where we want to go to heart. That's where we want to take baby steps to doing better for the earth. That's what I'm talking about when I say heart. These are the things that I'm talking about. So anyway, it was lovely talking to you all today. I hope that our 4 launching points, mind, body, spirit, and heart, have helped you to at least start identifying goals that you can take with you throughout this entire year. And I would love to hear what goals you've set. If you want to throw them down in the comments, I will be reading all of them as I always do. If you made it to the end of this video and you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe and you'll get to see more of my content whenever it pops up. And also please give it a big thumbs up. That really helps me a lot. You guys are great, and I'll see you in my next video. This is my first time shooting in this space, and I'm also shooting with my husband sitting at the other end of the table as me, which is a little bit strange because even though when I shoot my videos, I'm talking to seemingly tens of thousands of people, to have somebody actually right there in front of me is very difficult. Stranger danger, got a stranger in the room and I can't shoot and film. All right, so I'm gonna do jazz hands so I know to cut into this part of the video because the rest of it is just nothing. So when I see jazz hands in the editing room, I know to start here. It's like the worst jazz hands ever. 4, what are these? They're 4 nodes. They're 4, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. So something new happened to me today. I was stretching, and then when I was done stretching, I found that when I move my shoulders, air exhales from my body without me doing it on purpose. Can you guys hear that? It's really disturbing. Don't laugh at me. Okay, you're not laughing at me?
Sorry, no, I'm not laughing at your joke. I apologize.
It's not a joke,
okay.
So. Okay.
Yeah, you do have good jokes, though.
It's not, I wasn't cracking a joke. Okay, let's do this. If you don't have a roadmap to success for a goal, what am I saying? Just talk. This is just like crazy. Do you guys ever have days where you just can't quite get there? That's what I'm having today. I'm gonna have like 2 hours of footage to sort through to make one very simple point. And burped. I can't think because I have to go to the bathroom.